Hello and welcome back. I am Anna Dalman and let's talk about change. I am on day number 74 of my personal note writing journey, and my note of instruction for myself, rather a challenge, is what is the best way to make radical changes to your life. Now, I have found that I can change lots of little things along the way and they will provide a good result. However, I think the greatest changes we make in life are ones that have been reasoned through. We have, through the reasoning, decided what is the better objective for us, and in that foundation of what we understand to be the correct assessment of our predicament, that's what carries us through. It's that one thing that is important to us. It's the objective of the change, but who gets the glory of the change? That's the most important thing, I believe. If you have a strong foundation in your life, your glory will go to what that foundation is. Now, for you, it may just be good morals, good ethics, etc. Mine is from the biblical viewpoint of what change should look like, and that the glory for the change that I produce in my life is not in isolation of me alone. It is because of being empowered, my thoughts being challenged, my thoughts being provoked to think differently, behave differently, and live differently because of what God has accomplished for me. My want for change is because I want my life to glorify Him in a greater way because of the life He has given me. Well, some people may say, your life hasn't really produced much in the past few years. Well, to an extent I can agree with you, but then I had negative health, I had limited mobility, and I think that's one of the greatest works ever done in my life. I can't say God's to blame for all of it. He's sovereign over it. He allowed it to happen, and He provided everything I needed to sustain me. Often I would be challenged and wonder why He would allow me to be in the situation I was in. But then the drawing of me closer to Him through the seeking of Him in it was so sweet and so precious that I can't complain, or I can't challenge Him and say, why did you allow that to happen to me? Why bring me here? Why do this? Why do that? I'm too grateful. Even the negative experiences relationally that I've had from basically the time I arrived, I'm grateful to that too, because it forced me to have greater discernment and greater evaluation of people, places, and things. And I needed that. I needed to be in isolation, basically, to be satisfied in Him alone, that He was enough for me to function in a way that would honor and glorify Him. And because of Him, I did. Even in my low mobility, I did. So really, what am I saying to you? What is your deeper reason for change? What is your deeper reason for wanting to function? Sure, you can look better to the world, but what is that deep, deep need within you, beyond you, that will be sufficient for you, irrespective of how much change comes to your life as you progress? Sure, you can work at it. We all can. But are you satisfied with the outcome if it is not exactly? Now, if you are satisfied deep within, you will be. You will be, because you will have that relational factor of God being enough to carry you through the storms. And I think that is the greatest blessing. So that's the kind of 365-day growth pattern I am on, is just to remind myself of all those things and to put it into effect, to hold on, to be tenacious until my life is in a better and more beautiful functioning internally, within my heart, my mind, my soul. And now it is day number 31. Each day in July we've been through one chapter, not the whole chapter as I started out to say on July 1st, that I would just take one or two verses and we would talk about them and what that looks like in application. Now, Proverbs 31 is a very well-known chapter in the book of Proverbs, and everybody says, "Are you a Proverbs 31 woman?" as though she is something real and livable and doable. Sure, she can be, but the mother of the king is not describing a real woman. This is not who her son's wife is. It's what kind of woman, an example of a high-functioning woman that she has taken and looked at in her society. Who are the kinds of women who are super wonderful that I would want to be the wife to my son? So we need to just understand that. In application, in functioning, this is a high achievement. But please take a look at it. Where is it? In verse number 15, she rises while it is still yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. All the high functioning she does and the high achievements she does. She has maidens. What is that referring to? She has help. She has people coming into her home and working with her, alongside her, to allow her to function the way it does. And we need to realize in that era, most women worked at home from home. There were women who went out into the marketplace, but most women functioned from home. So everything she did was from there. In other words, in her business, she had people working with her and for her, alongside her. You can't do it alone. You need people to come alongside you for this kind of high functioning. And then furthermore, in verse, I think it's 26, yes, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She wants a wife for her son who is kind, who has wisdom, who has learned and gained. Wisdom comes from understanding, from knowledge. This woman has gleaned all of that from life and examples it in her relationships. That's what is being taught there. So we can all strive to be this high-functioning, gracious, knowledgeable woman. But unless we are being kind and taking care of the people around us and extending grace, being patient and providing well for them mentally, emotionally, physically in the workplace, and having the correct kind of leadership, this kind of woman will not function. She will not come to the end of her life and it be said of her, charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who loves the Lord is to be praised, and that her children also rise up and bless her. You're not going to have that kind of a home life. And then it goes back to Proverbs 24:3 and 4, that if you humble yourself and you look for greater wisdom, it will fill the nooks and crannies, not only of your psyche, but of your horizontal life as well. That means going out into how your home is cultivated and how your home is set up. All of it to be a blessing to those in it and to serve those beyond it. So I hope that is an encouragement to you. And this is the end of our look into Proverbs. Tomorrow it will be back just to encouragement and moving forward to day number 365. So until then, take care and God bless. And we'll talk again then. Bye-bye for now.